We want to give you a closer look at those numbers right now. We have Karen Bass leading with 37%, Spencer Pratt with 30%, and Nithya Raman showing 20%.
And joining us as well is the former mayor of Los Angeles, Ambassador to India, Eric Garcetti, the man who really ferried us through COVID.
Yes.
All those briefings every day. I remember those well.
Remember it like it was yesterday. But, you know, this is an interesting evening. And, you know, one of my pieces of advice for all the candidates is, as passionate as things get in this moment, and of course in a runoff, is the next day when we have a winner down the line is reach out to everybody who ran. I mean, I think anybody who is willing to run for office in these divisive times when politics are so vicious and you put so much of your personal life at stake and you get attacked every single day, we need good people. And I was very pleased. You know, every opponent I ran against became a part of my administration, including Wendy Gruhl, who's a dear friend and helped us with homelessness policy, and Kevin James, who was one of my opponents, came in as the president of the Board of Public Works, and Jan Perry headed up one of the departments. You know, anybody, I think, that believes in LA, instead of us just picking one and saying, you're the only one, I hope after this we can figure out what brings us actually together. Because it doesn't sell, it's not as sexy, it doesn't get as many clicks, but it's going to be critical for everything from the Olympics to our housing and homelessness crisis moving forward.
Right, but that's not the politics of the era that we live in right now.
As Conan will remind us.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You can't have leaders without candidates.
For sure.
You know, I'll just say it. Robert Kovacic, and I don't know what it's about Robert because he was kicked out of the Trump campaign headquarters in New York, I remember. But if you advocate transparency in government, open up the party to everybody, including the press. It's just the idea of saying the people have voted, but we don't want you anywhere near us. Yep. We're going to have a private party. That's an anathema to the whole concept of casting the ballot, election nights. It's part of the American tradition. I just thought it's a poor reflection on the Spencer Pratt campaign. That's just my editorializing, but you never would have done that.
No, we let everybody in, you know, no matter what. And you know, it's so important for us to not only have a press that's open and has access, but for us to also, you're right, the politics of this moment is divisive, Conan, but I don't think that's where everybody's hearts are.
Yeah.
At a certain point, I've even talked to Trump supporters who said, oh, I forgot how exhausting my guy is. People don't want to be exhausted. They don't want to be obsessed with the divisions. I think they actually do want to find people who are working on their problems, and they can find them. Look at the governor's race today.
Do they have a right to be angry? Because the voters seem angry this time out. They're angry about, you know, the homeless situation. They're angry about the way their cities and their states are going. Do they have that right?
I always said anger is real and it's personal. If you've been a victim of crime, doesn't matter what the crime statistics are. If there's fewer people that are out on the streets, if you see somebody and have a bad experience or see tragically what's happening to them, that's the only statistic that matters. So yes, of course, pay attention to people's fear, but don't feed off of it and don't feed into it. You know, it's the algorithms and the autocrats that want us to be just in that hate and division place. I think express it, but then we have to figure out ways to actually join hands and come together to move forward.
You talked about this a little bit when we had you on earlier of the challenges with running for an office and then actually being in office. And from the mayor's perspective, what are some of the promises being made and what can a mayor actually accomplish on his or her own?
You know, it's often misreported that it's a weak mayor system in LA. It's not. It's a classically strong mayor system. You can hire and fire everybody from the police chief to the person running the port and the libraries and the parks. On the other hand, you do have a city council, so it's a balance of power, and then you have 87 other cities, and by the way, 4 other counties that really are part of this single city. So I always encourage leaders to lead by actually reaching out to those folks. Every quarter, the 87 other mayors, I would convene with them in one of their cities and say, what can LA do for you and how can you help LA? That's how we won the Olympics. Past Measure M. It's how we got through COVID. It's not by emphasizing those differences, but by actually, you know, I think true power is what you're willing to share, not what you're willing to just hold and hoard. And that seems to be what we have to do structurally here in LA.
Go ahead.
You're a young man.
Thank you, Conan. I'll take it.
You now have international experience as an ambassador. This isn't the last time we've seen you on a ballot.
I don't know on a ballot or not. I know for sure I'm not done with public service because it's so much in my blood. But I loved also being an appointed official and representing this country in India and still making that bridge between the biggest democracy in the world and the oldest democracy in the world. So I'm not somebody who wants to go make my fortune. I'm not somebody who's just going to go into business. I love public service, and I think we need people who are willing to not just be firefighters right now, but the engineers and architects of the future, because all of us are playing defense. We see this burning democracy, we see this burning world order, and everybody's trying to put that fire out. I think some of us can take this moment, if we're not in the fight, to kind of think about what comes next.
You ran for president once before.
I didn't. I thought about it, but I didn't.
Well, you came really close. Right.
I don't close any doors, but I don't have a secret plot either. I'm loving schlepping my daughter around my 14-year-old 8th grader, and I hope you're studying for your finals right now here in the Valley.
You know, we have some new results. We're going to put those up as I ask you this question. Sure. Candidate Steve Hilton said that LA 28 is not ready for the Olympics. The city is not ready to host the Olympics in 2 years. Security, homeless issues, you name it. That was your baby. You were the architect who brought the Olympics to Southern California. How do you feel about it? You've had a chance to spin the city a little bit.
I'm convinced that it will be a successful Games, but the Games is only 2.5 weeks, and then the Paralympics another 2 weeks. We should really be building a Games around what the city is building, not vice versa. That's why when the D-line opens up, when, you know, we saw the new LACMA building, and later we also competed for and won the new Lucas Museum, the People Mover at the airport that we were talking about. These things actually, if we had one of those in a big city in 2 years, it would be great. That's 4 things in a single year. I think a lot of that stuff is coming, but we all have to think about what we give into these Olympics. I was 13 in '84 when they came. It was the best experience of my childhood because we all said, we're going to make this work. It's easy to sit on the sidelines and say it won't, but I am convinced it'll be a unifying moment for our city.
We want to draw your attention once again to the updated numbers in the race for governor, and you can see Steve Hilton just ahead of Javier Becerra, 27 to 26%, and then comes Tom Steyer and Chad Bianco.
I think you're going to see Chad start to slide over time as we get more results outside of the red counties of California.
We do want to touch on this one as well. Supervisor District 3, Lindsay Horvath, is successfully in the lead here at 64%. At this point, quite a lead she has.
And there you see the seat being vacated by Hilda Solis.
Or Hilda running.
No, she's running for Congress again. Yeah,
right.
I'm sorry, I misread that without my glasses here. She is running for Congress. She's leaving the Board of Supervisors. You see 46% to 38% for the 38th district.
Yeah, we're hoping our directors can put these numbers on the back wall for us where they're much larger.
Oh, look at that.
This is a very interesting race we've been following closely. Conan, you want to do the honors on this
Ken
one?
Calvert, member of Congress, going back to, what, 1986, 88, something like that.
Weren't you the bureau chief?
I was the bureau chief in Riverside, right.
Yeah.
He actually ran from us once at the airport. It was an innocuous question we wanted to ask him. For some reason, he was running. Young Kim was a moderate Republican. She was marshaled, championed into that race down in Orange County by I'm trying to remember the name. It wasn't Dana Rohrabacher, but it was another moderate Republican who was chair of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. And then Donald Trump got elected, and she went very much pro-Trump. That's what you have to do in the Republican Party. But it wasn't enough. I mean, she was that. You should see the commercials in that race that we've run.
Oh yeah,
they were. It was scorched earth.
We should point out both of these two will be the likely ones to go on to the November election. So it's predicted that both Republicans will be the top 2 finishers in this race, and we will see them on the ballot come November.
Correct. Now, Lindsay Horvath, we had her on. She wins in the nonpartisan races. Right. If you're over 50%. You would know that. You were in a whole bunch of nonpartisan races.
Assuming we had enough of the vote tallied, I couldn't make out that tiny number at the bottom. There we now see it. 123,663 votes to her competitor here, 37,645. So.
And Lindsay Horvath really played a prominent role in stepping up after the fire in the Palisades. She seemed to be out there every day. She was a spokesperson, getting things done for her constituents out there.
And she's going to run. So in 2028, I believe it is, the new Board of Supervisors, and there's going to be a county, they won't call it a county mayor, it's a county administrative office. So it's the president of the county of LA. She's running for it. I guarantee you that.
Eric, what do you think about that?
I think it's so important to have a chief executive. Like for a long time, I've been a huge fan. An elected one, because we have the same thing in Miami, where the county I mean, ideally, we'd have a city and a county that were one, but that's not going to happen in our lifetimes. 87 other cities aren't going to merge with LA. San Francisco has that, by the way. So if they attack homelessness, they've got healthcare and mental health together with housing and other things. But that won't be LA. But this is a really good start. And I think, you know, in the past, you could say the Board of Supervisors, well, I didn't do it because I'm the executive or the legislative. Now there'll be, I think, an accountable executive, and that's a great thing. And I'm a big Lindsay fan.
We were just looking at a live picture. We are waiting for Mayor Karen Bass to step up to the podium here. Is that what we're looking at here?
We're almost
live
there.
in Koreatown.
Well, we should probably say goodbye to Eric Garcetti. He's off to a party himself.
Yes, I am to Javier Becerra's party, but great to be with you.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Thank
We
you.
do appreciate
Always
it.
Wonderful to see you. You too. Take care.
The 42nd mayor.
I will. I will.
Mr. Ambassador. Do you prefer ambassador or mayor?
Just Eric.
Eric, we went down that road. Well, thank you. I mean, the
to meet
last
you.
time I saw you, we had talked
Paris.
in Paris. I looked over and I said, there goes the ambassador on a bicycle down the street.
Covering the
in
Olympics.
Nothing like
Right.
croissants and red
Yes.
wine to bring people together. Not that we were drinking on the job.
Perfect
A little
timing,
greater.
because Karen Bass
There
is
you go.
taking to the
All
podium
right,
right now.
great to
Thanks
see you.
again.
Take care. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.